everyone, Mel here. I hope everyone is well. I'm hoping you're having a great week so far, and welcome back to another tutorial. Firstly, thank you to all my amazing new followers and everyone that's entered the giveaway. Keep your eyes peeled. The winner will be announced in another video and it'll be up in a few hours time after this one, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Today we're going to be creating something I've wanted to do for ages. I knew I wanted to design a hot air balloon type 3D craft, but with Valentine's coming up I thought, let's bring the heart in, and of course it just worked out perfect, if I do say so myself. And here we go. Oh, it's just too big for camera. If I zoom out a little bit, apologies at the corners of my desk, it's really messy. I mean, you can see how big it came out, and if you see from the top, it's just, I just loved creating it. What do you think? Now, the pattern itself, you can reduce it down. You don't need to have it the size I've got here. I just went with what could fit on my silhouette when I was designing it, but you could reduce it down, you could even make it bigger. But remember, whatever you do with it, you want to make sure that the supports have enough pieces of card, or it's going to end up a bit rocky or even bend and flop over. But what do you think? I really hope you like it. Before we get started, just a reminder, please, you know it really helps my channel. If you like the tutorial, please give it a thumbs up. Even hit that bell button to get any notifications of any new videos that pop up. And if you're not already, please subscribe. So let's get started. I forgot to mention which papers I used on this pink hot air balloons. I used the Craft Consortium Grunge Light Tone, and I used this brighter pink on it, but you could use anything you want. I dug through my large stash of 12x12 papers to see what I had to use in today's tutorial, and I found some great ones. I mean, this would work for a birthday, weddings, anniversaries, anything you'd like. Remember, you need 2 sheets for the full size hot air balloon, but if you reduce down the size, you could get away with 1 sheet of pattern paper. So I've cut everything out here, and you'll see I'm going to make a 3-panel heart air balloon, and I use the Simple Stories Heart Eyes. I don't think you can get it anymore, but if I find it online, I'll leave a link down below. Now, I wanted to ink up my papers like I do, and I couldn't tell which one to use, so I took a scrap of one of my cuttings and I've inked on the edge to see which one best suited with the blue and the orange, and I thought the brightest pink was perfect. So all I'm going to do now is ink all the edges of my card and pattern paper. Now, if you get anything with a fold, what I like to do is ink one side and then ink on the opposite side. I just feel like it gives a cleaner finish. We all know when you use pink, reds and purples, they stain everything no matter what. So here I am cleaning with the good old baby wipe, and you can still see it slightly underneath. So I found that if I use some cheap hand sanitizer and give it a good rub, it gets most of the ink off and I'm left with hardly any stain. Top wee tip. So next we're going to make the upstands, maybe you would call them, that attaches the basket part to the hot air balloon itself. Now you want to make these nice and sturdy, so I've cut 12 altogether, so I've got 4 for each of the 3 upstands I'm making. I've only inked the 6, so that's like the back and the front, and I'm going to sandwich the other 2 in between them, and this will give a nice good support. Then I'll add my pattern paper onto the front just to decorate. You'll notice on the upstands that there is some little fold lines. On one end you want to give it a wee fold towards you. This is the part that you're going to glue inside the hot air balloon, and leave the bottom one itself. This is just an indicator of where to glue inside the basket. going to make up the basket part of the hot air balloon. First of all, I'm going to glue on my pattern papers onto the front. I've cut out 12 in total because I'm going to glue some in the inside, just to hide anything. To make up the basket itself, all we're going to do is add glue to the large tabs. So glue the two panels together, then we'll add glue to the second tab and glue it closed. Next, we'll take one of the hexagons and glue that to the inside of the basket, to the tabs, and then with the second one, we'll glue it on the outside to cover any of the tabs on the outside. If you want to add any more decoration, do that just now. Then you're going to add in your upstand, using that wee line as a guide of where to glue. Then use your pattern papers to hide anything inside. To make up the hearts themselves, you're going to need 3 panels, as we're making a 3-panel one, and then you'll need 3 of each style of the hearts. You also need another 6 hearts to cover your glue tabs. If you're doing the 4, you would do 4. If you're going to make a 2, just need 2. So first of all, what we're going to do is, after we've folded all the little tabs and score lines, we're going to give this a curve. It just makes it easier for going round. And I'm going to take the heart that's got the tab on it, and I'm going to start right up against that where the score lines sort of meet, and then with some hot glue I'm going to glue these tabs round about it. Now, after I did this, I realised I didn't really need to ink the edges of these ones because you won't see them, but just in case it's done, in case anything peeks through. So now all I'm going to do is add glue to all my tabs and work all the way around. So now we're just going to add in the second half of the heart, and all we're going to do is, with the point where it is in the half, going to line up with the small little triangle tab as best we can, and then glue the tabs round just as before. Now that you've made up that part of the heart, if you want to add lace like you can see here on the pink one, you want to add that on now before you add on the panel that covers up the tabs. You don't need to do this step, I just think it adds a wee bit something different. Now all you've got to do is make up your other parts of your heart, so do these next before you move on to the next step. So off camera I did this pom-pom lace, as I didn't have any more of this one that I used on the pink. So all I'm doing to add this on is going round the edge. So you'll see here I am going to add my hot glue and just work right round the edge, adding it on, sort of pulling it slightly so it takes the shape and holds in place, with the pom-pom sticking outwards. Now that I've added on the pom-pom lace, all I'm going to do is add on some of my tacky glue and then use that to glue on the panel that hides the tabs. I'm just adding that to the middle because I'm going to use some hot glue around the edge on the lace so that the card takes a better hold, because sometimes the tacky glue doesn't, or it takes ages. So I have no idea where that pom-pom came from, but anyway, so I'm going to repeat what I did on the first side again, and all I'm going to do is add on this pom-pom lace all the way around and then cover up the cardstock. Next I'm going to take this little bit of lace, measure it just quickly and glue it to the inside. next all we're going to do is take our pattern paper and glue it onto our hearts. You're going to glue the back and the front, and then you're going to give the longer part a sort of curve just so that it helps take shape when you glue it on. Be careful though when you're gluing it on, you don't catch any of your pom-poms. So now that they're done, if you're going to add glitter, add that now and then set them aside to dry, just like you see here on the pink. Hi guys, Mel from the future. I was just doing my editing and I realised there's a bit missing, the actual connection of the heart. So I've quickly cut another one out and I left that to dry. The glitter's all dry now, so now I'm going to quickly show you how I put them together. No matter if you make a 4 heart-shaped one, a 3, or even you could do a 2. So if you wanted to do a 2, all you need to do is cut out 2 of these and then they would just slot together as so, and that's it. You would just need to cut off one of these tags because you only need one to glue them together. But for the 3, what you want to do is you want to snip off, see, just a teeny bit of the glue tab. It's just made for the size of the 4, and it's just so it's not as tight or lumpy when you try to glue everything together. Again, it is a triangle layer that you'll be using for the 3, and it is a square for a 4. Apologies if you can hear the dog, she is in the hall over there. So I'll just show you what I do. Easy peasy, I'm just going to add some glue here. Take my tab and glue it to the inside, just lining up as best I can. There we are. Again, like I said, if you wanted to do it for a 2, you would just glue this other side and then add on your bucket part for your hot air balloon. I mean, that looks nice as is. You could add a full sheet of the pattern paper to hide the join, or just have a ribbon going around the middle. But for the 3, I've got my 3 pieces here. Again, just add my glue. You don't need to use hot glue, you can use tacky glue, you can use double-sided sellotape, anything you want. Just remember, as long as it dries clear, in case it seeps out anywhere. And there we go. So then, lastly, all I'm going to do is glue the other tab to the last side to close it off. If you're doing a 4, you would just add another half a heart to this side. There we go, and then you've got your little bit on the top. So if I just use the pen up a bit, I'm going to add on a dab of glue, just there and there, just to bring these together. Then I will take my little triangle, sorry about the glue strings, and I'll just add that on. Now if you wanted, you could put a hole in this before you glue it on and then feed through some of the invisible thread or fishing gutting, whatever you would like, and then you could have yours hanging. Make a really good wee mobile. But that's it. Once that's glued together, you just need to carry on with the rest of the video. Again, apologies that this is sort of different colour and everything, but back to the main video. So you can see here for the little basket, I've added some of that pom-pom around the outside, then I've put in my upstands and then covered it with the pattern paper. But I mean, you could add some ribbons or anything. I've also die cut a whole load of butterflies and a sentiment using these dies you see here. I'll pop a link below, and I've got my mulberry flowers and some matching ribbon to go. All I'm going to do is ink up the butterflies. I've cut them from vellum and I'm using some turquoise on the vellum. Then on the cardstock I'm going to use some of the bright pink. So I've shaped the butterflies here, then off camera I have added some ribbon with a bow round about the basket. I've also cut tiny little bows that I'm going to add to the upstand, but first of all I'm going to add in my mulberry flowers. So I'm keeping the stems on them and I'm adding a blob of glue to the back of the flower, and then starting on the edge you'll see I'm just sort of gluing it to the middle, the pink one, and then on either side I'll put an orange and a blue, and I'm just working round, building it up, adding all my different mulberry flowers. You don't need to do this stage, you could add anything you want inside, maybe even a stamped image would look really good in here, or just leave it with some tissue paper, some fairy lights, and make it big enough that you could put in a gift card or anything you want. Just go wild. That's me added all the mulberry flowers and I'm happy. I'm going to add on those tiny little bows that I made. I'm going to come down about 1/4 of an inch from where that wee fold line is and stick it on. Now all I'm going to do is decorate the top part of my hot air balloon. Now I've lost the footage for this as well. I've no idea what's going on with my phone today. All I'm doing is adding on those die cuts. I'm adding them with mulberry flowers and glitter and gems, and you'll see here it's all done. I added glitter all over the flowers and I saved one of the butterflies and popped it in the basket so you can see it here. Then on the front of the big part of the hot air balloon I've added that happy birthday die cut. I've put it almost in the centre, added on my gems. I've went wild but it looks good. Now to glue these together you want to turn it upside down, sort of push those pom-poms out of the way, and where you see the little fold line you're going to add a dab of glue. Sorry about the angle, I'm trying my hardest to get the best way to show you. And then add your dab of glue onto where that fold line is and line it up as best you can on the middle, inside, and hold in place. Then repeat on the other side. Welcome to the other side of my desk. I just moved the camera a bit so you could get a better view of how big this hot air balloon really is, and you can see it better with the actual orange that it is on camera. I mean, look at it, it is huge. It's almost 12 inches tall and about 6-7 inches wide depending on which bit you measure. You can see the difference here if you went for a 3-panel one or a 4-panel one. I think it would look really good as a 2-panel one as well, but I mean it just shows you the difference you can do. I mean, you don't need to add all this stuff that I've added. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea. If I bring in this one, you're not really supposed to see this one, but it shows you the difference in size that I've went 20% smaller. So what do you guys think? Did you enjoy this video? Yeah, I did go a bit crazy with the bling. I mean, like, really crazy. I just couldn't help myself. Once I got started, I couldn't stop. I think it's an addiction. Remember, you can change the sizes, so I mean this one is the 3 and then the pink one is a 4. Oh, sorry. And I used the square base, but you could use the hexagon base if you wanted. You can change it up. And the one that you're not really supposed to see, this is reduced to 80%, so 20% difference in size, and you can just see you can change it up again. You could do it as a 2 like I suggested when I was building, but it's up to you. I really do hope you enjoyed this. I will link everything below, including links to any materials I use. I'll even try and find similar papers because I don't think you can get this one anymore. It's an old collection, but I'll have a look and see what I can find. And anything else I will again pop below. Remember, I will post the lucky winner of the competition in another post, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And again, I know I go on and say it every time, but if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps my channel, it really does. It helps me get seen. If you're not already, maybe subscribe and maybe hit that bell button. You'll get notifications when I post my video. I do post one every 2 weeks on the Friday. But until next time guys, bye!